and welcome to my YouTube channel. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. We're almost out of 2020, so give yourself a pat on the back for that. And happy end of the semester for me. I finished my first semester as a nursing PhD student at the University of Pennsylvania, the #1 nursing school in the world, and it was a ride. And today, to celebrate that, I wanted to talk about something that all PhD students struggle with, and sooner or later, I feel like all of us struggle with this. It's called imposter syndrome. So what imposter syndrome is when you doubt yourself, and sometimes it can manifest as you feeling like you're a fraud and you don't want people to expose you. You feel like you shouldn't be where you are. So maybe you're in higher education and you're like, wow, everyone here looks different than I do, whether it's because you're Black or brown or a woman in a male-dominated space, or maybe you didn't grow up as privileged as everyone else in that space, and as a result you feel like you shouldn't be there. That is something that I struggled with a lot through everything. Not just school, but also jobs. Sometimes you just feel like this opportunity wasn't meant for me. Maybe even just opportunities in general, whether it's scholarships or internships or anything. And the reason I wanted to touch up on that is because it's something that, like I said, most people struggle with. However, most of us don't speak about it. This was my first time in higher education where it was kind of embedded in our orientation. Everyone was talking about imposter syndrome. And I got over mine a little bit before orientation, and that leads me to my first tip of how to deal with imposter syndrome, and that is to simply talk about it. I spoke to one of my mentors about it, and she was like, basically I called her before I started my program, and she's like, oh, how are you? Are you excited? And I was like, no, I'm scared. And she's like, why are you scared? And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, don't be scared. You're about to be a Black woman with a PhD. People are afraid of you. And I was like, oh wow, like I am now one of those people that I looked up to, you know? And that helped me, and like just talking to my peers about it too, because everyone goes through it, like I said. So just talking about it helps. My second tip is to celebrate yourself. Write down your accomplishments, and big or small, and then whenever you're feeling a little insecure, take a look at them. Reasons that you're proud of yourself. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be like, I tried to make lasagna for the first time and it came out really good. So just make yourself feel good about yourself and celebrate every accomplishment that you have, whether you feel like it's big or small, because all accomplishments are big. Revisit that list when you're feeling down too. So just as a reminder, like I have a list of reasons why I love myself and things that I'm thankful for. I know it sounds corny, but whenever I am struggling a little bit or need some motivation, I revisit those lists and I'm like, oh wow, I'm really an awesome person. So definitely do that. It's kind of like a gift from present you to future you. And my final tip is to just reflect on the times where you did fail. If you feel like you failed at something recently, reflect on it. Allow it to be a lesson for you. Don't allow it to hinder you. Don't dwell on it. And just know that you're not alone. We all have ups. We all have downs. And don't let imposter syndrome take over your life. If you need any words of encouragement, or you want to provide words of encouragement, leave in the comment section. My DMs are always open as well. Just know that you belong. You deserve to be here. And even I struggle with imposter syndrome sometimes. That's what happens when you do amazing, extraordinary things, right? When God's really working in your life, you end up doing things that you could never imagine even doing. And I think that imposter syndrome is just a result of that. So If you have been feeling a little imposter syndrome, know that you're not alone, and know that whatever you're doing, you are amazing. Your steps are divinely placed. You're exactly where you deserve to be. And just keep doing it. Just keep being your bomb self, okay? So that's my little spiel about imposter syndrome and just 3 tips of things that I do to help me with imposter syndrome when I'm struggling with it. If you have any tips, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'm always looking for new things to try. Also, keep a lookout for my next videos. I have some big news coming up that I'm super excited about for next year. And thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. And like I said, tune in next time. I have some amazing news coming.